you very much. Welcome. I'm Professor David Dunn. My main qualification for being the chair of the first session is actually someone who has written extensively on international summitry. Diplomacy at the highest level, the evolution of international summitry, available at all good bookshops. But actually, in writing this 17 years ago now, I had no inkling that I would be actually so immersed in and spending so much time, both last night and today, with people who were actually the key participants in so much of the events that shape our modern world. So it's a huge privilege to actually be part of this. Now, some of the extensive backgrounds, biographies of our speakers have been mentioned already in Professor Becker's remarks, so I won't repeat them at length. Suffice to say that we have a very distinguished panel here today. First of all, on my right, Sir Roderick Braithwaite, who was former British ambassador to Moscow. Sorry, you're right. Sorry. Sir Roderick Braithwaite, who was former British ambassador to Moscow, chairman of the Joint Intelligence Committee, and a foreign policy advisor to Prime Minister John Major, and is also the author of 3 books on Russian affairs, and actually is still active writing a new book on threat perceptions during the Cold War, which we had a fascinating discussion on last night. To my left, to your right, again, James Wilson, who is a historian with the State Department in Foggy Bottom in Washington, and who is the author of Triumph of Improvisation, Gorbachev's Adaptability, Reagan's Engagement, and the End of the Cold War, who is currently going through all the papers, classified and unclassified, in Washington, and giving us, again, tantalizing glimpses of what remains to be declassified, and is a huge authority on this period from an expert academic perspective. And finally, on my right is Ambassador Anatoly Adamishin, who's, again, was mentioned, former ambassador to Italy and to the United Kingdom, and a former deputy foreign minister of the USSR between 86 and 87. So we have an illustrious panel. So I'm going to keep quiet now and listen to them talk to us about the road to the summit.